It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Welcome, welcome, welcome
Did we start?
to the world famous Tucker and the Beard show.
Did we start already?
We did. Here we are.
What's
It's-
up, everybody?
It's Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's
a-
time to
it's
do
a
this thing.
Yeah. So, it's really funny yesterday. When somebody tell me, you know what? You look a little bit better in person than you do in your pictures.
Oh, well,
And I've been kind of stuck on that because I'm like, it's me. And you've been, it's usually a thing. But,
well,
I'm
hey,
like,
that's
what-
a compliment because usually
It's
it's
like-
the other way around for most people.
Right. I would rather be better looking in person
Right.
than, we all see those people where I
Under
was like,
promise
okay.
and over deliver.
Right. We all see those people where you see them in person and you go, oh,
Oh,
all right. That's a thing.
interesting.
So I was like, I guess I'll take it. I was like, all right. So, what's new, man?
Watched a Halloween movie this week.
Did you watch the Halloween
I
movie?
watched the definitive Halloween film for 2020.
This narrows it down.
Hubie Halloween.
Oh, okay.
It's there. There is no other new Halloween movie this year
Yes. Well, I was like,
that I'm even that I'm
Well,
aware of
knowing-
necessarily.
knowing your humor, I was like, listen, I know what you did yesterday,
Yeah.
so I didn't know if
No,
that's
that
where
was
you
a
were
whole-
leading.
That's a whole different
Like-
scenario. But no, of course,
Presidential candidacy is the Halloween movie
Yeah.
of
the must-see
2020.
horror movie. Well, I mean, the presidential campaign is the must-see horror movie of 2020.
But yes.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
The movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was good.
Like it was just like it was an Adam Sandler movie. So
Yeah.
it's not.
I really liked how they.
It's not going to the Oscars,
Well, and he's
It's-
committed to that.
right? But it's one of those things where expectations are in the Adam Sandler range.
Right.
Like
It was
It's-
slightly more family friendly than than some of his movies, and
Yeah.
slightly less than his really, really bad movies,
yes,
but still involved his family,
right.
which was really cool.
yeah, his family was there, and all the cameos, man.
Yeah, the cameos were
Well,
some of the
straight
best
out of
part
the
of it.
gate.
Yeah.
Straight out of the gate was the biggest cameo.
All right.
What would you agree? Like for the Sandler verse,
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
and I'm not wanting to ruin anything. It's just somebody that hasn't been in any movies for a while.
well, not just that. So there's that cameo, but also just all the nods, like that. Being an Adam Sandler nerd,
And that's why I was saying, I was like, I want to see if you get
well, I
all
picked
the-
up on some that like my wife definitely didn't,
Right.
and it was just, I mean, first of all, the fact that it's his girlfriend from Happy Gilmore who plays
Yes.
his love interest in this movie
Yes. And I
is amazing.
right. And I caught it because I thought it was her same name. And I went and when I looked up and to compare because I couldn't
Right.
remember. I guess Adam Sandler had a thing for a while in all the movies where all the female leads have double V names.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Actually, that's
And
not
and it
a
was
thing
just
that I've
one of
noticed.
those right. It was one of those because they used her name and I was like, was that her name in it or something? But
Right.
no, it was not. But yeah, that was a cool little.
There was
Not-
one
there's so
missing.
many.
There was one missing though. That I was a
There's
little. Well,
two
Two.
guys missing in my thought that are normally in his movies,
yeah, and
but they weren't there.
they weren't there. I was a little.
Not that I noticed. But speaking of that movie, there's a scene in the movie where there's a news anchor that is dressed up. She's
fired.
She is an actual news anchor
And she actually got fired
She
from
got-
her job for being in that movie.
for being in that movie. And there was nothing
How awful is that?
there was nothing inappropriate about. She didn't say
Yeah.
anything bad or whatever, but I guess she broke the chain of command and didn't
Yeah,
let anybody
she
know.
didn't.
Or
Yeah, I guess you gotta do those things.
is
Oh,
that
hey.
my computer or yours?
That was yours.
It's waking up.
My
do silence.
MacBook doesn't make Windows noises. That was definitely a Windows noise.
It should.
I could make Windows noises.
I know. Anywho,
but yeah, I mean there were some really good ones. There were a couple that I'm like, oh, great opportunity, but they were missed. But it's all good.
Yeah, and just I was not gonna say that it's like a twist, but the ending was like enjoyable.
Well, I'll tell you this. I didn't actually nail it until about 30 seconds before it happened.
Yeah,
the twist at the ending that you think is coming isn't quite the twist that you get.
Right, and it's kind of that's pretty classic. So
hey, look, it's Elvis.
Sorry, I'm getting little messages.
But no, I did. So in addition to my interesting experiences, because I live a life of mystery and intrigue and
yes,
gallivanting around.
I'm like, I've been doing so many things, but like being put on the spot, I can't.
Well, it's been a lot of work.
A lot of work.
Last couple of weeks have been super busy,
Yes.
which super grateful for.
Yes.
That's awesome. But yesterday,
you did a thing.
I did a thing. Me and about 10,000 other people did the same thing yesterday. No, it wasn't go to Disneyland.
Yes.
No, so as I've mentioned probably a few too many times on the show before, we homeschool our children.
Yes.
And so part of that is, we have to teach them about things. But what the cool thing is that we get to take them places and have different experiences than your typical public school kids will have. And we get to teach them in different formats. Mm-hmm. So when we heard that the President of the United States was going to visit our small little town,
yes,
which is a big deal in and of itself.
Yeah, it's a huge deal.
And not getting into whether you like the guy or don't like the guy, the fact of the matter is we've got a pretty small town.
Yeah.
And the president showed up here on a campaign trip.
Right.
Okay. So I think I've also been pretty outspoken with I'm not a big fan of the guy.
Right. Which
was
shocking when I found out that you were going.
But for the kids and for us too, to see a sitting president, we don't, because we live in a small town.
Right.
We're not going to get that opportunity very often.
Correct.
And so we decided that we were going to take the day and make it happen. Mm-hmm. And boy, what a day it was.
I watched from afar because I had about 5 other things that had to be done, so I didn't have the opportunity. I think it would have been pretty cool to go be a part of it and go, like you said, the president coming to our small town.
Yeah.
I just had other things that I couldn't move.
For me, it didn't really matter who it was.
Right. It could have been
any president.
Right.
It really wouldn't have mattered who was in office.
Right.
Or who was running for office. It's just not something that we get to experience without first having to drive probably down to Phoenix in order to check it out. So we decided to go do that thing yesterday.
Mm-hmm. And it was quite the event.
It was a massive event. We'll see if a bunch of people get sick. I doubt they will. Everyone seemed to be healthy yesterday. They were temperature screening and everything like that at the gates.
We're doing that. Because I know a lot of people are going, oh, look at all these people that didn't have their masks and a big old group of people and whatever. And
I will tell you this, if it says anything about... first of all, I have never seen a political campaign push merch the way that this campaign has pushed merch.
There's been...
From the beginning. I mean, they have done... From a branding perspective... This is me stepping out of the politics and just going, listen, from a branding perspective. Brilliant.
People get in the gear.
Yeah. I've never seen more red hats in one place in my life.
Well, I've had conversations with, my kids and stuff like that, similar to, like you said, that you're involving them and talking to them about politics and everything. So I was doing that, and I go, listen, if you were just to do it off a branding standpoint, I see more people in that gear than the opponent's gear.
Yeah.
I've never seen...
You'll see some bumper stickers.
Right.
Some signs in some yards.
Occasionally. And I think it's just...
But this was a full... I mean,
right.
I've seen less people in bands gear at giant rock concerts.
Yeah. They're in the gear.
They are there for it. So that was very interesting to see. And also... whether or not it's indicative of his base of supporters. I also saw more flip phones in one place than I've seen in over a decade.
Fantastic. That's pretty good.
There was a lot of people taking pictures on flip phones yesterday.
And you just want to talk to them and be like, they're not going to come out.
Like, well, when you have a photo that it's 640 by 480 resolution, okay? So if you blow it up bigger than about
that,
wallet
it's going to be...
It's garbage.
Right. I'm sure they got some really good pictures.
Are you going to get it printed? You can't even post it onto the Facebook.
The Facebook.
You know, so it's just...
To quote Justin Timberlake, lose the.
Lose the. But no, it was...
Tell me I'm wrong.
But... So it was interesting. And I will say this. Aside from a few things that I feel could have been communicated better, the event went off without a hitch.
Mm-hmm.
The people that were there, and I'll dive into why, but the people that were there, they were happy to be there.
Mm-hmm.
They were excited. They were friendly. They were courteous. So the news doesn't show you everything, is all I'll say about that.
Right.
Now, granted, on the flip side of that, this event involved what is something that I, personally, as a very outspoken libertarian, detest, which is this new invention that's popped up over the last decade or so called a free speech zone.
Okay.
So one of the reasons that everyone inside isn't fighting with each other is because they're all on the same team.
Correct.
Right? And if you're not on the same team, you can certainly come to the event, but you have to stand in a box outside. One of the rules in order to attend was you cannot wear campaign merchandise or memorabilia from any other campaign.
Okay.
Which is, kind of a direct violation of the First Amendment of the Constitution. But whatever.
Right.
So there was some things where I'm like, well, it ought to have been peaceful, because if it wasn't, then that says more about the supporters than I could ever say.
Right.
So obviously it was a very peaceful and happy event. People were very excited to be there. All things aside, I'm gonna probably make a whole different video about this, so I don't want to bore everyone to tears with it here, because
you are. No,
you'll hear it. But there's, my political commentary aside.
Yes.
There were some interesting things about getting in that were.
I know we've already we talked, and I was.
Well, one thing was they, it didn't mention anything on the campaign website. But, and we weren't the only ones caught off guard, because everyone was caught off guard.
Right.
You find out when you're about 100 yards from the entrance, getting temperature scanned, and then they search you, that you can't bring in any food or beverages. As
you've probably brought in waters for you, the family.
Yeah, waters, some snacks and things like that. This was obviously not in the name of security.
Right.
Because as soon as you walk in, you can buy a $9 hot dog from a vendor chosen. Now, after some further review, I think that's more on the city of Prescott, so shame on you, city of Prescott, because there was nothing security-wise to do with why.
Right.
And on the campaign's website, the only thing it said you couldn't bring in food or beverage-wise was alcoholic beverages, which again, makes total sense. But yeah, as soon as you walk in, now, but they didn't even search you that well.
Right.
They didn't even search you that well. They looked through your bag basically to see if you had food or water, and ran you through a metal detector.
Okay.
If the metal detector didn't beep,
you're good to go.
You're good to go.
Okay. Interesting.
So, and I understand, again, anytime the president is at a venue, there's going to be extra levels of security and precaution. This just simply wasn't in the name of security. It was in the name of feeding some extra cash to some vendors that were selected by the city to participate.
Gotcha.
And hey, I'm all for them making money. I love small business. That's what we do.
Right.
However, we would have been more likely to support those vendors. We probably would have bought lunch from them.
Still done it. Yes.
Yeah. But instead what we did was we didn't at all.
Right.
They were handing out free water. So again, good on them if they're going to make you throw it out.
Right.
At
least provide you with
it was
some
almost
water.
90 degrees yesterday, and you're standing in the direct sun for hours.
Yeah.
Waiting for the president to arrive, and then during his remarks, and then but so there was some issues that did pop up, but for the most part, it was a well organized and well executed event.
Nice.
All that being said, it didn't change the way that I plan on voting.
No, but I think it's...
And it can't because I already did. But
right. No, but I do commend you for going outside of the box, so to speak, or outside of the...
Well, I've never been to a political rally really before. My high school marching band played when George W. Bush came to town back in 2000 during his campaign.
Gotcha.
And so we played on the courthouse steps. So that was a cool experience.
Right.
But yeah, it didn't, I've not voted Republican or Democrat in any election. Ever.
Okay.
And I don't ever plan on it. And this didn't change anything.
No.
Plus, I had already sent my ballot in earlier last week.
No, but I'm just trying to commend you for being of that, mind frame and everything like that. That you're not rocking the gear, so to speak, as you said, but it's still that you're opening your kids' eyes and minds to just the president being in town and it was campaign. So that's cool, man.
It's an experience that, listen, again, even if you don't like the guy, I've always been of the mind that you don't have to like the president, but you should be respectful.
100%.
And, even though I do, it was George Bush, like ever since I've been an adult.
Right.
There have only been 3 presidents since I was able to vote.
Right.
And I've thought all of them were idiots, kind of. So, but you can still be respectful, and you don't have to be a hateful son of a gun to live. In fact, it makes your life a whole lot easier if you're not.
Very true.
So
very, very true. All right then.
That was a rant.
No, I'm just good. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh man.
No, it's all good, man. Yeah, I was going to say something, but I forgot about an hour ago.
Oh.
This opportunity. I know.
You opened the jar.
Open the jar.
I can't.
I know. I tried to quickly put the lid back on, but
you fumbled.
I wasn't fast enough.
You dropped the ball, son. You dropped the ball.
Oh, we got to start making merch and make jars.
Just jar merch?
Just jar merch and just be like, hey.
Well, I mean, we've got stickers. We could just go put stickers on jars. Yeah.
But knowing us, we'd be like, all right, we're going to make a video of us running through the store.
Well, of
putting
course.
Stickers on all the jars. So.
No, we would buy them first. We're not savages.
Yeah. Watched a new movie, sort of, streamed.
Okay.
Had our family movie night.
All right. Let's hear it.
Well, no, I don't. Listen, we watched it. That's about the end of my kind of thing.
Right. Well, what movie?
No, it was the new animated Addams Family.
Okay.
It's out for free streaming.
My son watched that on his own.
We did that thing.
We were going. I had thought, well, that'll be a fun watch with the family.
Yeah.
And then my son, who's 9.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait because he has told me he should have his own movie review because it's just
I think
his
so, too.
his one-liners are some of the best.
Yeah.
All right.
So
what were his thoughts?
we were going because yesterday after we got home we were dog tired because I mean
right.
from standing in one place in the sun,
Well,
in my opinion,
yeah.
is way harder. Like we went hiked down to the bottom of Walnut Canyon,
Right.
and back. You know, it was over
It just takes
over 750
yeah.
stairs, and a 400-foot vertical drop, and then a 400-foot vertical ascent.
Right.
Right. I was way more tired at the end of yesterday than I was at the end of that day.
Oh, I don't doubt it. Just standing there and just getting beat up by the
Getting
sun.
baked.
And,
I don't know if you can like see it. I've got a pretty hard line right here.
And I just look like this.
You just look like that. So it is what it is. No, but so I was like, oh, well, you know what? We're all pretty roasted. So let's just sit down. I want to watch that new Addams Family movie.
Right.
My son was like, I already did. We shouldn't. And so what we watched last night instead was the classic
Addams
1991 Addams Family
Which
with Raul
is-
Julia and Christina Ricci and
which is
Christopher Lloyd
200 times
Angelica Houston.
better.
Yeah, like
So yeah, we watched it as our family movie night. After which the family was kind of split.
questioning on whether you should have family movie nights anymore.
No, there was my daughters really enjoyed it.
Okay.
My wife was like, "Oh, I actually really enjoyed that." My son and I were just kind of silent.
Well,
And it was
you
like,
and
I
your
was a
son
little
are
bit
both
more
super
silent.
cynical.
My son way more than me.
Yeah.
Way more. I don't. Yeah.
Like you guys are both cynics, and listen, that's why.
Right.
That's why we get along.
No, 100%. And so it was just kind of like I didn't say anything because it's you ever be put in that position where everybody's like, "That was so much fun," and stuff,
Was
and
it?
and you don't want to be like, "Yeah, it wasn't."
It was okay.
Yeah, it was. It was the Addams Family
Yeah.
cartoon.
The Addams Family. Shazam.
Well, it was Shazam.
Empire West.
I was gonna say it, and then I was like, but no, it's one of those things where I had seen it before. It was the exact same storylines as other CG kids cartoons.
Sure. I mean,
It was Hotel Transylvania.
okay.
Like, so
Whatever.
it was like 90% of that,
Yeah.
mixed with some, but it was one of the nice things about the live action, and why I kind of bring it up is to talk about the live action and what they did so well. It wasn't they weren't monsters.
Right.
Like, it didn't beat you over the head with the fact of they didn't have any superpowers per se.
Right.
They weren't vampires. They weren't.
No, they're just
You know,
weirdos.
They're just weirdos that enjoy the darkness,
Yeah.
so to speak. And, you kind of go, okay, are they kind of in the monster realm? Or, but that's the
No.
fun part.
They're not the monsters. They're
Right.
the Addams Family.
They're the Addams Family. But in this, they had, like, superpowers. They were, like, monsters and...
Oh, but that was the whole appeal of the Addams Family. The dichotomy between Addams Family and the monsters. The Addams Family were normal people living like monsters, and the monsters were monsters trying to live like normal people.
Right.
Like that
And
dichotomy was so...
They did things, and it's like Morticia had, like, spider powers, and Pugsley's, like, climbing on the wall with, like, glowing eyes. Yeah, like, I almost tapped out at that point.
That's disappointing. See, now I'm glad I didn't watch it.
So it just made some choices of, and it was them, villagers treating them like monsters. And it was the whole Hotel Transylvania theme of they were trying to hide away from the rest of the world. And they didn't let their kids leave because they didn't want them to see the regular world. And like, it was just, I was like, I've seen this.
Yeah.
And it was better when it was Hotel Transylvania.
Right.
But
Well, that's disappointing, but I'm also glad that I didn't watch it now.
right, because I enjoyed the television show.
I kind of would have been
and-
mad about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean-
I loved the TV show.
Loved the TV show, loved the movies.
Yeah.
And so it was just kind of like, okay, like, hey, we'll go watch this. And it was straight out the bat. them in the olden, like it was like a flashback scene, kind of like when they were being hunted by the villagers with pitchforks and torches, and then it's them now, and I'm like, no,
maybe I don't
they're
know.
not
Do
like
we not,
immortal.
Yeah. Did we miss something on what the Addams Family is supposed to be?
Right. I was like, I don't know what I'm watching because I never. Yeah. So, anyways, my little Addams Family tirade.
Well, that's a bummer.
Well, because we've been trying to, we've been doing the movie night, so we've been trying to do Halloween themed movies, right?
Right.
And so it was like, okay, cool, yeah, we can.
It's that time of year.
Perfect opportunity. This just came out, brand new to stream, and there you go.
Yeah, like this is the time of year that chances are, on any given day, if you see me driving around town and you hear the music that is coming out of my car
usually
speakers,
Monster Mash.
No, but this is total nerd alert, but I will absolutely drive around with the soundtrack for The Nightmare Before Christmas playing because I love it. Yeah, I love it that much. So
100%.
But that's just me.
It's that time of year. It's that So hopefully this Friday.
Updating.
Yes.
Rumors are that Tobey Maguire.
Stop it.
Is confirmed.
He is. The last I've seen, he is not. I'm gonna literally stop podcasting right now just to look this up.
No.
Because is this brand new news? Because it's been.
What's the date on this article?
They tried this
3 days ago.
No,
Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield have signed for Spider-Man 3.
I know it's been rumored. Sony came out the other day and been like,
Am I spreading fake news?
It's been like Sony did a statement saying it's not confirmed, which isn't a no.
It's just that we cannot confirm or deny.
Listen, this could either be the biggest thing that this little brain has seen and it'll explode, or it could be a dumpster fire of 5 seconds of them on scene.
Right.
And just, hey guys, or like the end of Spider-Verse where they're just pointing at each other. Yeah. And that's it. Nobody says a word. The movie that what I'm trying to stop doing is I'm trying to stop writing this epic movie in my head that will be a huge disappointment when I show up and I'm like,
it's not what I had in my head.
It was okay.
It was okay.
It was Spider-Man 3,
Yeah, well, I
need it to not be Spider-Man 3. They don't have the best track record.
Right. Spider-Man is currently only good for 2 movies at a time.
Currently, yes.
So will the MCU be able to break that third film barrier?
Right.
Because listen,
the possibility is huge.
Even the MCU has a mixed track record on third installments.
Yes.
Iron Man 1, amazing.
Yeah.
Iron Man 2,
good.
Pretty good. Iron Man 3, come on.
I pretend that one doesn't exist.
Right? But then, they turned it around.
Yeah. It's like Captain America.
Good.
Great. Good. Yeah.
Still a decline. Still a decline in episode 3.
Right, but it was like Avengers. It was an Avengers movie.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, it
wasn't as
really
much Captain
movie.
America 3 as it was Avengers 2.5.
Right. It was America. It was AVI.
Yeah.
America versus Iron Man.
Right.
I was trying to make a Alien versus Predator joke,
But then, Thor, great.
Mm-hmm.
Thor 2, Ragnarok.
Wow. Yeah.
So, they've hit and they've missed.
Right. I just need
Avengers 1.
Right.
Great. Avengers 2.
Yeah.
Endgame.
Sad. Well, that was like Infinity War.
Well, Infinity War and Endgame kind of.
Right.
That's just one long ass movie,
right?
As far as I'm concerned.
No, I agree. Listen, I would have made some different choices, but they didn't consult me.
No, they failed to consult us time and time again.
So I can't
Holler at us.
Yeah, I can't.
Numbers in the description every week.
Yeah, I can't be too mad.
We're waiting for you, Marvel.
Yeah,
Share this movie with Marvel.
right.
Tag them in the comments.
Well, it's kind of like the Star
Don't
Wars.
let them ignore us any
Yeah,
longer.
it's like the latest Star Wars movies.
Right.
Are they the Star Wars movies I would have written? No.
No.
But I can't be mad because I'm just a fan along for the ride.
Right.
And I enjoy that story, so wherever they want to take me, I'll sit there and
You'll take that journey
I'll take the
to a
journey
galaxy
far,
far, far away.
far away.
That's it.
That's it. We got things to do,
We gotta go.
man. We had the window. Thank you for joining us in our.
99, part Ocho.
This was Ocho.
It's the Ocho.
Wow. All right.
So
Okay.
we're getting closer.
Fair enough.
If we can have a rally with 10,000
We've
people,
got a couple.
we can maybe invite 50 of our closest friends to a.
I know. We've got a
to an
couple of
establishment.
ideas.
Yeah. So
We've got a couple of ideas.
we're gonna make it happen.
Cue the noise.
Yep, they're after us. It's time to go into hiding.
There it is.
That's it.
Thanks,
Have a
everybody.
lovely week. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. Thanks for everything. We appreciate you. And until next time, he's Tucker.
He is the beard.
And we are out.